Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our 90th installment of the Pucking Around podcast. We have a great episode for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking about the NHL youth movement. It is coming and going. We have so many young stars that are completely dominating the league with an absolute force of nature, and they continue to just carry their teams. What stars have stood out to us the most? Is it sustainable? How will these stars continue to keep their teams relevant just in a general perspective? We'll be going into that, and we're just going to be also talking about some topics just in general that we're looking forward to talking about. It's going to be me, Rick, and Eric running things tonight. So let's start introducing the three-headed monster for the evening. Introducing the man to my right, from the Talking Haps podcast, Rick Seligman. Rick, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm okay. Good as can be.
It's okay.
Yeah. Not a great week last week.
1 to 10 scale, a solid 5.
You solid 3, probably.
3? That's not okay. That's miserable.
Yeah.
It's meh.
One of those weeks.
I hear you.
What are you going to do?
One of those weeks. The week will get better. And then
We've been saying that for the last 5 years.
Right-hand corner, I should say. From my co-host of the Flyer Gonna Flyer podcast. You know him. You love him. Mr. Eric Martino. Eric, how you doing tonight, bud?
Not too bad. Feeling a little under the weather, but it's okay, man. We're gonna
Eric is having the MJ flu game tonight, but in terms of podcast production, that is very respectable.
Yeah,
look in the mirror and say, man, guy's playing hurt, about to have an MJ flu game type podcast.
And also, immediately after the podcast, Eric has to go back to work as a longshoreman.
Is that true?
Well, look at just he looks like.
I was like, does Rick know something that I don't know, or is this
he looks just like a longshoreman
that I just don't understand?
He looks just like a longshoreman to me.
Gotta keep the head warm.
Yeah. If I had to guess, Eric looks like he's ready to go out to sea and fish for lobsters.
There you go. One of those. That's actually true too.
Guy looks like he's about to catch a bajillion lobsters and just sell them off at the sea and probably make a couple grand real quick.
If only.
Oh boy. All right, let's get right into this. So the NHL has been kind of an enigma this year. Like we're now a little over a month into the season, and I'd say we've had enough of a sample size where we look at things and say, okay, these are going to be maybe not the exact standings, but something close to this for the majority of the season. You know, we've got our division leaders right now. I mean, the Metro is kind of about as expected. Carolina and New Jersey are tied at the top. In the Atlantic, Rick's Montreal Canadiens are currently the head honchos there, with out of nowhere the Red Hot Bruins right on their tail, who have won now 6 in a row. Don't know how I feel about that. Cam would like that, but they've also played the most games in the NHL. But 6 wins in a row is 6 wins in a row. Good on them.
Yeah, not sustainable.
Meanwhile, out west, Colorado is still Colorado. Nothing new there. But I think arguably the biggest surprise of them all, with a 5-point lead in the Pacific, it's not Vegas. It's not the Kings. Definitely not Edmonton right now. It's not Vancouver. It's the Anaheim Ducks. 23 points, 11-3-1 through 15 games. And that kind of just leads us into our main topic tonight. The youth movement of the NHL. Like, 2 of these teams that we mentioned, Montreal and Anaheim, have 4 stars. One of them sickens me to my stomach, but besides the point. 4 stars, young stars at that, who have just come out and taken the NHL by force. Like, if you look at the point standings in the NHL right now, Nathan MacKinnon leads the way with 29 points. But then second, third, and fourth, Leo Carlson has 25 points and is tied for second in the entire NHL right now. Kid's been on an absolute tear. I've been saying Matvei Michkov was the second best player drafted in that class, but I don't know, man. Leo Carlson might be making me eat my words. Through 15 games, 10 goals, 15 assists, plus 11, 25 total points. Guy's been an absolute absolute carry for this Anaheim Ducks team. You know what? Maybe carry isn't the right word, but just a general leader. And then we look at the goals race. And again, I hate to bring this up, but Cutter Gauthier is tied for third in the NHL in goals with 11. The Ducks are being carried by the youth movement right now. I mean, also getting rid of Cronin always helps. It's something they should have done a couple decades ago. And then meanwhile in Montreal, Ivan Demidov looking like one of the better rookies yet again. He leads all of rookies, I think. What does he have? 13 points, Rick?
Yeah, 13.
And then Lane Hudson coming off of the Calder last year. He's having another good sophomore season. He's already up to double-digit points as well. So
yeah,
let's start with these two teams, Montreal and Anaheim. Montreal at least made the playoffs last year, but Anaheim, this is a team that we were saying, okay, maybe they can push for a wild card. Nah, they said, the hell with the wild card spot. We're going to take this to a next level. They have a 5-point lead in the Pacific, as I mentioned. Eric, let me start with you. What do you think about the youth movement, at least for the time being, in these two teams? Then we'll get into some of the other stars as well.
Well, when it comes to Anaheim and Montreal, but especially Anaheim, I think I've said this before. I think the way they rebuilt is the right way to do it. I think they just did it the right way, and that's why, if you remember, I don't know if you guys remember when we did our prediction shows before the season started, I had Anaheim, I think either second or third in the division.
I think I had them third myself, but I think you were higher.
I'm pretty sure I either had them second or third, something like that. And it's because it's everything that what they've been doing from since they started rebuilding to now, they've just done it the right way. Look, when they started their rebuild, they got rid of some veteran players, but they kept a little core. They ended up drafting high. They drafted great players, and the last 2 years, they've just been making smart move after smart move, bringing in the right veterans to complement these young players that they have. They brought in the Chris Kreiders, they brought in the Trubas, they brought in the Ryan Stroms. They bring in good veterans that could bring the kids up together. And one thing that I've knocked the Buffalo Sabres for the longest time for not doing is you cannot win with just kids. You can't, because they don't have the veterans there to show them how to win, what it takes to win, how to gel as a team. And that's what Buffalo's lacking, and that's why Anaheim is doing it right. So yeah, look, you have guys like Leo Carlson, and look, man, remember, I don't know if you guys remember when they drafted Carlson at 2, everyone's like, oh my god, what happened? It's supposed to be Adam Fantilli. And look, not that Fantilli's a bad player. He's fine. He's playing well, but he's not playing as well as Carlson right now. That's for sure. So no, not even. So So as it comes to Anaheim, I'm not surprised. And look, Montreal too. I think I picked them also second or third in the division also. But yeah, again, they started off. Same thing. They started off with they kept their core together. They already had Nick Suzuki. I think they had already drafted Caulfield by then. But then they got rid of some players. They sucked for a couple of years. They got some high draft picks, and now look, it's all working out for them. So it's a young league. More and more, especially in the cap era, it's becoming a young league. And we all see what's happening right now, especially with the UFA, with the free agents. Nobody's going to market. So if you want to build a team, you have to build it to the draft. And look, Anaheim and Montreal are two teams that are doing it right.
Honestly, I'm glad you brought that up, Eric, because it really is proof of just all these UFAs already signing ahead of time, a year before their deals expiring, just to stay with the teams. You just can't build through free agency like you used to. You have to build through the draft. And the two teams we just mentioned here, Anaheim and Montreal, are just showing that. They did it the right way. Both of these teams have an ample amount of youth, some still yet to come. And they have just looked like well-oiled machines. No disrespect to Adam Fantilli or Leo Carlson for that matter. I was shocked that they went Leo Carlson 2 overall. Rick at the time did a live stream on his Talking Habs the Talking Habs YouTube channel. I remember, and I was part of it, and I was shocked when they took Leo Carlson at 2. I thought Adam Fantilli was a shoo-in at 2. But Anaheim met with the guy that they felt fit their system best. This guy's a future Selke winner. This guy plays the game right. He has a great two-way game. He's an offensive dynamo. He elevates his team, and he just plays the right way in the NHL. And I got to give it to him. He has just fit like a glove in Anaheim just since then. And, again, as much as I hate to admit it, Cutter Gauthier was a great acquisition for them. Guy's got 11 goals and I think 6 assists right now, 17 points through 15 games. He looks like he's on pace for about an 80-plus point season. Will he stay at that level? Who knows? But the guy's just found his touch as much as it sickens me. And I'm glad you mentioned Chris Kreider, too. 12 points in 11 games played. I think he missed a few games to injury, but he was that veteran leadership that this team may have been lacking. And Kreider's got some cup experience, at least going there with the Rangers. Mm-hmm. Was he on that 2014 Rangers Cup team?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so, right? Yeah. So
because he was the one that crashed into Carey Price.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rick. Sorry.
Like hearing that. But point being, Chris Kreider's had ample playoff runs with the Rangers even after that. So he knows what it takes to have the leadership capabilities. I didn't like the move at the time because I thought Chris Kreider was washed personally, and he's proven me wrong. Again, another good glove fit there. I give crack to Verbeek for what we got in Zegras, but it looks good right now. So, maybe he's making me look like I got egg on my face. How about you, Rick? Why don't you lead off with your Habs? How do you feel about the youth movement?
It's it's something that's about time. Also, I think the players today are just uber talented, so that in this overturning of the top echelon in the and the players, the talent. Crosby's getting old, almost done. Malkin, Ovechkin. I mean, that is that they're moving on. But the young kids today are so freaking talented that I'm not surprised that you're seeing this many around the league that are delivering. And we're just touching like a tip of the iceberg, right? We're only talking about a few players. There's a lot more guys behind that, In Montreal, not a surprise. They've done it the right way. Good scouting, taking players that other teams just passed on knowing they were good, but too small or this or that. Montreal wasn't afraid to do that, to draft. I mean, that's worked well for them. Yeah, I mean, I love watching them play. I mean, it's just it's crazy every night. These kids too. It's not just the veterans on our team or Nick Suzuki, who's a little older. The kids are delivering. We haven't had a second line for the last 3 years. It's being led by 2 rookies, our second line, and it's producing, and it's crazy. So I think I'm enjoying seeing these young kids, taking over, taking the reins.
Finally stayed healthy too.
What's that?
I said it also helps your guy Kirby Dach finally stayed healthy as well.
I know Kirby Dach staying healthy is just it's explainable. He trained differently this time, and he learned more about the injury and rehabbed it the right way. And you can see that's what the difference is in Kirby Dach is he's more comfortable when he's confident in the knee. That's what you're seeing is the difference, in my opinion. That's what he says too. So, but we're here to talk about the young players. Although Doc's pretty young, it's true. He could qualify in here.
Former 3rd overall pick. There was obviously something there where teams saw the Blackhawks at the time saw something in him. But just as a general perspective, do you think this will be a commonality? Let me ask both of you this. Do you think this will be a commonality? Rick, you already kind of answered the question, but I'll double down on it a little bit. Do you think this is going to be a trend over the next 3 to 5 years that young talent at this age is going to continue to develop and play at this level at this early of an age?
Yeah. Just look at what Schaefer's doing. 18
years old. Incredible how well he's adapted.
Listen, it's a bit of equipment, which is a lot better, but it's the coaching techniques that get better all the time. And, they get even more innovative and, brilliant minds like Marty St. Louis, who, people acknowledge is a brilliant hockey mind. You're getting a lot more of that. The training is better. Everything all around is better, and you're developing these kids earlier into these. Like, I think when you say in your prime, that's coming down too. It's no longer 27. Now they're looking at 25, 26 as your prime, because of the talent in these kids and the training and how they're brought along. So yeah,
Now,
I think this is not an odd thing. This is just going to continue like that.
Now, in terms of prime, do you think that means that these players are going to have a longer prime, or do you think that the fact that they're getting this level of mileage so early in the NHL
Unknown
that
yet.
they may start falling off at an earlier age?
Yeah, I don't know if that's known yet, but I mean, I would imagine the hope is that longer in your prime, like longer at that level,
Yeah, I think like in general now, like your prime years has extended by at least a couple years, like where like we were saying like before, like but also you have to that I think it's different for different positions also.
Yeah,
like,
it is. The different positions have different prime years. Yeah.
So whereas like I'm talking like forwards, let's say, and it's like before where you would say like like a forward really hits his prime at 26. Well, now like it's more like you look at more like 23, 24 for forwards because
24 probably, yeah.
Yeah, because I
24,
think
25, I would say, yeah. 20.
I think that the thing is, I think there's a couple things that kind of like help this trend. One was the also like once the NHL like eliminated the red line and took out clutching and grabbing and everything and made it like
two-line pass. Yeah.
like where it's like before, like you really had to be like in the old NHL, like this is my opinion, but in the old NHL, you really had to have man strength to play. Like you really needed to be like that's why I think why the primes are so late in like 26, 27 was primes because it's like at 26, 27, now you have your man strength. You built your body up to withstand all the punishment that you were taking in the old NHL. Now once they take out the clutching and grabbing and it's more open ice, so like skills, it's a skill-based game. It's a lot faster. So all these young kids coming in with their skill, they might not be physically ready in a way, but their skill is good enough that they can hang until like they reach a little bit more mature in age, like 23, 24. And also like the cap, right? Teams were forced to play young players because of the cap.
Yeah.
Like the cap was a certain number. Well, how do we reach our number? Well, we got to get that kid on the entry level contract. We have to have at least 2 of those, 3 of those on the team because we can't afford to get that free agent at $4 or $5 million. So your teams were kind of forced to play young players. And I think that also opened their eyes to like, well, you know what? Like this kid at 21 is just as good as like that veteran that I can go get that's 27, 28 years old. He'll give me the same production. So why would I spend that money on a veteran when I can have this kid do it? So I think that also helped bring along like this new trend of like getting younger in the NHL. So
Also, college hockey has gotten way better.
Yeah,
for sure.
Ever was. I think that's
college hockey.
I think that's
exponentially increased.
Right. I think that's a huge contribution to younger players being better. Is that they're coming out of college way better than they ever have, and fully prepared. And so I think it's that. I think those are the factors.
And I'm actually glad you mentioned the early primes of these guys. One thing that comes to mind is how much more skill-based today's NHL is versus like 10, 20, 30 plus years ago when it was a lot more physical and more of a grinder type game. Do you think that has a big reason to do with today's NHL being more skill-based? It's just the way the game is transitioned versus what it was in the 90s and early 2000s?
Well, from the 70s, I mean, from before that, me growing up as a kid, hockey players took the summer off. They didn't train. They came in out of shape. It's why you had such long training camps. One of the reasons, right? Nowadays, the guys, they train all summer, right? So they're just think of how much quicker you can reach that elite level or your ceiling if you're training all year round and you're in shape all the and I think that's a contributing factor too, is that they're training so much more and so much more effectively too. Just the training techniques are so much better. They really know how to get the best out of guys and to get them where they need to be. Like, it's way different.
That is very true. And honestly, I think that is a big part of it. Like you look just modern technology today and how much more we know about ways to strengthen players and get them
Right.
more adaptable to today's NHL and not just in the NHL, excuse me, but in all sports just in general. You look at athletes in a general perspective, hockey, football, baseball, basketball, they are so much more skilled, strong, faster, quicker, whatever, and even smarter than what they were 70s, 80s, even 90s. So I honestly think just modern day training, intellect, medicine, and things that we know compared to them also has a big impact on this as well. Athletes know so much more in ways of training your body. And then, as you just mentioned, Rick, it's the fact that these athletes put in the grind all summer. They know everyone's doing it now, and you have to do that to keep up in not just the NHL, but any sport just in general. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. And the quicker you realize that, the better off you'll be, not just as an athlete, but as an individual person as well. So I look at this in the big picture is I do think athletes are going to continue having longer primes and these kids are going to kind of establish themselves as time goes on at earlier ages. But I do also think part of this has to do with the way the game has changed as well. So I don't want to say it's all based off of that. I think it's more majority based off that, but I do think the game is a lot different compared to it was 70s, 80s, 90s, where it was more of a grinder physical type of game.
Yeah, because the talent levels weren't there. Like today, you've got skills coaches.
Mm-hmm.
When Montreal got a skills coach, made a hell of a difference. Right away, you saw how the players were more focused on what they had to do and how to get to that next level on an individual basis. They're taught, right? I think that has a lot to do with it as well. Skills coaches are fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, coaching is another thing into perspective. Like we probably did. You would know this better than me, Rick, because I wasn't alive back then. But there probably wasn't nearly as many coaches back in those days in the 70s.
No, back in the 70s, it started where you might get an assistant coach, but basically up until then, a coach did everything. One guy doing everything.
Yeah.
Goalies did not have coaches. I think that was in the 80s that started happening where you started to see some goalie coaches. So it's hugely different.
So it's not just the physical perspective of things, but just the coaching and teaching perspective of things.
The advanced techniques.
It's really blossomed at earlier ages.
Yeah.
And just to point out a few other players, look at Macklin Celebrini. He was one of the Calder finalists last year. He has flourished so far this year. This guy, the San Jose Sharks, has been a team that has been stuck in the basement of the league for half a decade now. And 16 games, he's got 10 goals, 14 assists, 24 points. And he is leading a youth movement of that Sharks team where they actually look relevant and have a promising future. And this is a team I have said 2-3 years from now, watch the hell out. They're going to be an absolute terror in the NHL.
Yeah.
That core will win a cup. I'll be shocked, honestly, Rick, if your core doesn't win a cup. And like this, a lot of these cores, these young teams that did it right, I wouldn't be shocked if Anaheim unfortunately wins one. But the way San Jose has built it with Celebrini and Smith and Misa, Musty, Askarov acquiring him in a trade, Dickinson. San Jose is another team you just look at of how they've used the youth movement, and they've got some of their veterans that can help grow this team. They brought in a Jeff Skinner, as you mentioned, Eric, that could help this team grow a little bit. Yeah, he's not anything close to what he used to be. You have a Tyler Toffoli there. You have a Dmitry Orlov.
He can help them cope with not making the playoffs. That's about it, no?
What happened? What?
He can help them cope with not making the playoffs because he knows all about that.
He's good at that.
Well, yes, but I'm just saying in a general. Yeah, Skinner maybe not the best example, but Orlov and
Toffoli, Orlov,
Gaudreau are examples of that. But just in a general perspective, the Sharks team now has some of the veteran guys adapting with that young core that are showing these guys how to lead by example. And just another group of rookies that have truly impressed. Like, I'm amazed how much Celebrini and Leo Carlson, especially, and Connor Bedard too. But I kind of eventually expected him to get to this. It took a little longer than I thought it was.
Yeah, I was going to say Connor Bedard.
Throw that generational tab on.
But it shows you that, players develop at different paces, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. Look at Macklin Celebrini, probably instant, right? Right
Second
there.
year.
Bedard took him 3 seasons to get there, but he's gotten there. It seems like he's gotten there now. So yeah, it's, it is what it is.
And
Leo Carlson is shattering my expectations. This kid is a superstar.
Scouting, super fucking important.
Yep, and that just shows
when you want to,
dating back to the 23 draft. This is why they're the scouts, and I'm the fan that knows nothing.
Right.
But
scouting is super important.
Yep.
But Eric, what's other young kids that might stand out to you just in general?
Well, even like sticking with San Jose, like Will Smith, man, he's at a point per game. Like he's up there, like 16 points in 16 games. And he's 20 years old. Then you have like Frank Nazar. Like
that was who I was gonna say.
Yeah, Nazar's good.
That kid's amazing, man. Like honestly, I see him play a few times so far this season. I watched Chicago a couple of times, and like, holy hell, man, that kid can play. He's got 11 and 15. Like look, Matthew Nyes. Like Nyes was one of the ones where like I was like before the start of the season, I was like, I don't know if he's gonna be able to actually replace all the production that that they're gonna lose with Marner, but like he's got 20 points on the season in 16 games, so he's over a point per game.
Who's that now?
Matthew Nyes.
Oh, Nyes, yeah, probably the only bright spot there in Toronto right now, right?
So
Nyes is good though. He was already showing signs of that last year. Now that he's taken that bigger role, I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, but like it was a question though going in, like could he like actually take that jump? That massive jump. And so far so good for him. 20, like I said, 20 points in 16 games. Who else? Let's see. Matthew Boldy, Quentin Byfield, Logan Cooley. Cooley's like that's a guy like I really wanted the Flyers to trade up.
This close, they almost got him.
Yeah, I know. Imagine what the Flyers would look like right now with Logan Cooley.
Oh my God, you had that 1C. You got that checked off.
Oh man,
right? I like that kid and everything, but I'm not sorry that we picked Slav over him. You can laugh,
look,
because we've got those players. We got players like Cooley. We don't have anybody else like Slav and what he's going to develop into. So, I think it's justified that they didn't. But I mean, Cooley very well could have been that first pick easily.
Yeah, if you did a redraft, it would probably be Cooley and Hudson 1-2. You can argue who.
Except that it's Montreal still would have been the first pick. I don't think they would have changed that. So, but you're right. By numbers, Cooley should have been the first pick probably right now. It's showing, yeah.
But and like I said, like even Utah at the end of the day, like not only Cooley, like they have Gunther too. Like they got some like good JJ Peterka that they traded for this season.
Yeah.
Good job, Buffalo.
Good job, Buffalo. But you know what? That trade is actually looking a little bit better for Buffalo. Everything considered, like Castle Ring solid. Josh Doan is actually having a pretty solid season for Buffalo. So like
I haven't followed Doan that much, so I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, he hasn't been bad for them at all. Again, I still think Buffalo lost the best player in that. Still lost the best player in that trade, like hands down.
Yeah,
but it's not looking as bad of a deal as I first initially thought it was. It's not,
except with the injuries they're having and shit.
Yeah,
they're in a lot of trouble right now.
Have you seen that list of injuries of players that have missed at least one game for Buffalo already? It's over half their team.
So bad.
They are this team. Who is a more cursed franchise in sports, the Buffalo Sabres or the New York Jets? That is a good poll question right
I
there.
still think it's
That
the
is a good one. Yeah,
I still think it's the Jets. They just-
probably is, but
You want to just to go a little off topic real quick. I want to throw a little fun trivia question. I love using this on Jet fans. The New York Jets are tied for 5th in a 4-team division in division titles won.
wait a second. What?
That is an accurate stat.
yeah.
They're
The
tied
New
for
York
5th
Jets,
in
I
a
will repeat it
4-team
again.
division.
The New York Jets are tied for 5th in a 4-team division.
How?
in
How is
division
that
titles
possible?
won.
Even how does the math?
Would you like me to explain how?
Yeah, because the math doesn't seem to make sense to me.
So the Indianapolis Colts were in the AFC East until 2001. They won 6 AFC East titles in their tenure here. They moved to the AFC South in the 2002 season. They've been there now for 23 years. The Jets have still not caught them. The team the New York Jets are tied with, I want you to get ready for the next part of the statement because this is going to probably make you piss your pants laughing, is the Houston Oilers, who have not been in the division since
Or in the league.
1970.
Yeah, haven't been in the league since how long? The Oilers.
They haven't been in the division since 1970.
Is that a
And they have
franchise
division
that
titles with them.
was that a franchise that moved or they folded?
No, the Houston Oilers moved to Tennessee, I want to say. But
Oh,
I'm
they're
not
the
100%
Jaguars.
sure.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
they ended up transitioning.
I think they ended up becoming the Tennessee Titans. Don't quote me on this. I'm not
Tennessee.
100% sure.
Oh, right. Tennessee Titans. Why did I say the Jaguars? I'm an
I
idiot.
think they became Tennessee, but I know they moved. They didn't fold. They moved, but I couldn't remember
Yeah, I
100% who. But
Yeah, I
also,
know.
that's like the famous stat now. Like obviously, it's probably changed because the Flyers power play is actually decent this year. But like before this season, in the last 5 years, the Flyers had the 33rd ranked power play in a 32 league team over the last 5 years.
I hate it here.
And that's
How-
because Arizona moved to Utah.
Right. That's right.
33rd ranked.
Yeah, it's one of those weird kind of stats that happen.
Yeah. So it's these weird. But yeah, honestly, I honestly still have to say the Jets, just because at least with Buffalo, I feel like there is a path. It's just that they really just get in their own way and makes like a couple fixes, and I think Buffalo could actually be a really good team if you make a couple fixes. The Jets, I find, are just a disaster.
Until Woody Johnson is no longer the owner of that team, they're not going anywhere.
But
That's
listen,
my take on it.
futility is futility. Doesn't matter
Mm.
how it happens, really. Right?
Yeah,
Valid.
I guess. But still, I think the Jets are just still worse off. Oh, they can't draft a quarterback.
They can't draft in anything outside of Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall.
Oh man!
But again, we got a little too off topic.
Yeah, we're not a football
That's
podcast.
just the funny bash on the New York Jets segment of the show, and kind of the Buffalo Sabres too. But back to the point at hand, the youth movement within the NHL.
Mm.
You have some guys that you know who has really stood out to me is Z-Boy. And this sickens me to say because it's another guy that we kind of passed on. But he's kind of made that. I know Minnesota has struggled this year, but he's made that wild power play a lot more threatening quarterbacking it. He's got 9 points already in his first year as a defenseman in 17 games. He's on pace for over 40 already. Again, as a defenseman. And this is a guy that has looked to be a potential future cornerstone #1 D-man for that team. I know the Wild, as I just mentioned, haven't exactly been good this year. They're 7-7-3 through 17 games. They only have 17 points. They're having their issues. But if one thing in perspective of being positive, their power plays look more threatening with him on it for sure. But just as a general perspective, Z Boyum has stood out to me. I know he still has a defensive deficiencies, but that he looks like a legitimate power play quarterback for the future for them.
Yeah, but that's what everybody expected from him. No.
Oh, of course, but this quickly is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm not surprised with him though. I was expecting him to have quick success.
I mean, the Wild are the number 4 power play in the NHL right now. I bet she's a big part of that.
They just can't win games. I have their goalie in the fantasy.
Their
I have
issue
their
is
goalie.
they are allowing a bunch of goals.
Yeah,
That's
they
their
can't
big
win
issue.
games. I regret drafting Gustafson.
Well, I regret drafting Dustin Wolf, who is my goalie and another second-year guy. And
Yeah,
we're talking about a guy.
I had Gustafson and Wolf. I got rid of Wolf. So yeah.
I'm set at goalie. I got Allmark and
Yeah.
what's his face? Washington. Logan Thompson.
Yeah, I know. I beat your ass. I beat both of you guys the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I won this week. I won this week.
I don't really have much room to talk. I set my lineup. I made some moves, and my team just said, "Nah, you'll lose at 8-4. You earned it, Rick. You earned trash talk. Oh yeah, let's show the score. Let's show the score.
He was in second.
Asshole.
You see up there who's in second? See what it says? That's me. Yep. And I beat you. I just beat you, Alex. And I beat Cam the week before, and then I beat Eric the week before that, I think. Or Eric beat me. Eric might have beat me. I'm not even sure.
No, I lost.
You lost?
Who's in last in our division?
Who's in last?
Who's
one of my subs, Guru, but Cam is next. But I don't think Cam's paying attention. And yeah. And then you're in eighth. Look who's in second overall.
Jamey didn't even draft this team. Look
at
him.
I am. Jamey's in fourth.
Second in our division. I'm sorry, I misread.
Don't diss me now. I'm only in second though. I'm not by points. I'm third in points, but second because I'm leading the division. So I get I guess I get a top 2 spot. Who knows? There's a long way to go. Just I thought I'd show it. No, because we drafted here on a live. We did a live thing, so we haven't shown the standings yet. This is the first time, so that'd be a good thing to do. So there you go. Any other of note there? Any Erickson?
Why don't we just talk about a couple of the younger kids that have kind of had slow starts? Wolf and even our guy Michkov, who's starting to get it going a little bit. But, it's a way to point out and say, again, they're young. Everyone develops at their own pace. Matvey has gotten goals in his last 2 games. He's looked significantly better since those first 4 or 5 games this year. Flyers fans, I'm going to say this to you guys before we move on to our next topic. Patience. Don't worry about the drama outside the rink right now. In terms of Matvey, patience. He is going to be a star. He's going through a rough patch, but he's found his game a bit the last 10 or so games, especially the last handful. Back-to-back games with a goal. Patience. He will get it going.
Just to get back, speaking of the Ducks have a third guy that we didn't talk about, Beckett Seneca. Got 11 points.
Senecki?
Oh, yeah.
It's Seneca.
Yeah, I think it's Seneca.
So, I mean, this is why the Ducks are where they are. They got 3 of these young kids that are like off the charts already to start the season anyway. Yeah, I forgot about him.
And plus they got like 3 really good studs on the back end also in like Coleman, the Zellweger, and the other one, Minchuk or whatever.
Minchuk, yeah.
So,
like I said, plus they got a good goalie.
They did it right.
That good goalie.
Oh yeah, that's and those stuff.
So yeah, I mean, there's no wonder where they are. I don't think it's sustainable for them like to lead the division, but I think they'll finish in a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Oh, playoffs guaranteed. But yeah maybe they might not win the division in the end, but
injuries could derail that. I mean, injuries could really derail that. But I forgot about Seneca.
Honestly, that's a good call because I didn't really think much about Seneca so far, but he's been just as maybe not just as productive, but he's been
he's got 11 points.
Well,
he's got 11 points. He's tied with Schaefer for the in the Calder race. So
yeah,
tied for second.
I mean, 15 games, 11 points already for a rookie. He's starting to climb into this too. I mean, if you asked me today who my final three by Calder finalists would be, it would be Schaefer, Demidov, and Seneca. But
yeah, I'm gonna say I think Schaefer, Demidov are gonna be there. I think I think the third guy. I don't know if you could say that it's obvious yet who the third guy.
no.
There's a
But
lot of
that's what I
hockey.
said today.
But I kind of think with Schaefer and with Demidov, I don't think there's any doubt that they're going to, unless something bad happens to one of them, that they're going to be there at the end.
Eric, we'll have our Calder winner in 26-27 when Porter Martone takes the ice. Because he's going to be good. He's dominating in Michigan State. Not to get too off track.
26-27, we may have Zarovsky here. If that's the case, that might be different.
Oh, I don't know, man. Porter Martone has dominated in college right now.
Yeah, go take a look at Zarovsky.
Oh, no, I've seen what he's done. He's on pace. He's right on pace with Demidov, I believe.
It's not that even. Have you seen him, though? He is.
I haven't witnessed him in a game yet, so
he's crazy good. The way Demidov is quick with the stick and all that. Zarovsky might be better. Like, he's a total steal because he's not a guy that was on team's radar, but he's too small or this or that. He wasn't on any team's radar. That was a total steal getting Zarovsky. That's Bobrov, his connections in Russia. That's purely that. I was reading about it today, so I know what I'm talking about. He wasn't on other teams' radars, except one other team that was going to pick him. One pick back where we got this kid from. That's why Montreal traded up, because they knew another team was going to pick him.
Who picked after you?
I don't remember, but no, we traded up, so I don't know. No, I don't remember because we traded up to get him.
Now you're gonna make me look back in the draft.
So I don't remember, but the team behind where we got him at, the next team, they were going to pick him. That's what they heard, so they traded up to get him.
Now you're gonna make me look back in the draft because it's gonna bother me.
Yeah, why not? You do.
Nashville. The team was Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville was going to grab the kid. So but he was basically not on anybody's radar. Only a couple teams, I guess.
We originally had the pick after Nashville at pick 36 until we traded to Seattle. Just a little known fact there too. All right. One last guy I think we should talk about that I don't think we've spent enough time on yet before we move on to our next topics. Connor Bedard. This kid is finally looking like the player.
Didn't we talk about him?
Well, we briefly went over him, but I don't think that's enough. So this is more of a general question to you gentlemen. Seeing how Bedard has started this third season, do you think Connor Bedard is going to live up to the hype that he got from the 2023 season now?
I don't.
And why is that, out of curiosity?
Because they hyped him as generational. I don't think he's going to be a Connor Bedard type player, personally. I think he's going to be an excellent elite and all that, but I don't think generational. So I don't think he lives up to the hype, just based on that.
Now, what is your expectations for the word generational, out of curiosity?
Connor McDavid type of player, Sidney Crosby, Wayne Gretzky. I mean, those are generational hockey players.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
Could he
like a franchise caliber?
Could he live up to that? Sure, he could. I don't think he will, though. But I mean, I still think he's going to be a great player. And I'm not thinking, but I don't think generational. So just in that, because he was hyped as that I don't think he lives up to it. But he'll come really close. I think he's showing it now. I was in doubt, and I think I had said it in one of the earlier pods that I didn't think. But I mean, he's obviously proving that he just needed a little extra.
I was starting to show my own doubt as well. I was starting to say, like, listen, maybe this guy, maybe Celebrini is going to be the player I thought Bedard was going to be, but he has really turned a corner this year, and I'm happy for the kid. You know, he got his level of flack. He deserves his stand up. How about you, Eric? What do you think?
No. Well, apparently, from what I heard, he completely changed his training regimen and everything this offseason. Like, he trains a different way and everything. And it's really showing. And look, he's again, I find lately, it's more, I think it's more fans, it's fan driven, but they're always throwing out every guy that's supposedly going first overall in the draft is generational.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
everyone, oh, he's generational. Oh, he's
Yeah.
generational.
Yeah, not
You know,
that the
it's-
guy up in the corner that he's off camera, he doesn't do that at all.
You know, like we have to stop using that word. Like it's being
It's
thrown
overused.
around. Like if you want to say this guy could be a franchise player, I find that works better. Connor Bedard, oh, that guy's gonna be a franchise player.
The Kucherovs, the
That's,
Kaprizovs,
Yeah, like he's gonna
it's of the world. Yeah.
he's gonna be a really good player. Maybe putting up like 100 points every year.
Yeah.
Most probably, yeah, okay. But like when we're talking generational, yeah, that has to be reserved for like those guys that like are actually,
Generational.
they're the best of the generation.
Yeah.
Like not everybody could be the best of the generation.
You can't get one of those every year. You're not going to get one of those. They come fewer and farther between than what people are calling on with these kids that are coming up. They're great, these kids, but they're not generational necessarily.
They're not. He's a franchise player. He's turning into a franchise player. That's what he is.
No doubt. Yeah.
And look, it's great for Chicago because their rebuild was kind of bet on him. So no, like he's living up to what I thought he was gonna be. So I can't complain about Connor Bedard. Like he's really good. But one guy I actually just quickly I'd just like to talk about like that's really not so far living up to like his where he got drafted.
Hayden Lindstrom.
Well, he hasn't played a game yet, so I'm waiting.
Hayden Lindstrom's played. Oh, I thought you would talk about college, but 2 points,
No.
7 games over at Michigan State so far. He's starting to scare me.
No, because we're talking about like young stars in this
Oh,
league, and
sorry for interrupting. Continue.
I think he might actually need a change of scenery, maybe. And it's not that he's playing terrible, but like the points maybe aren't what you would expect. But Alexis Lafrenière in New York, like 2 years ago, it looked like, oh, he figured it out. He's, he's gonna take that next step. Like he's starting to put up the points. And then last year it went back down the toilets, and this year he's at like 8 points in 16 games. Again, not terrible, but you know what? You were drafted first overall, man.
Yeah.
Like and then like I was looking quickly at that draft, and like you have Byfield who went 2. Now, granted, Byfield hasn't hit like star level yet. Him too is still kind of slowly developing. But then I was looking like Ottawa got Tim Stützle at 3 and then Jake Sanderson at 5.
Yeah. No, that was a good draft.
Picks for Ottawa. For sure.
Yeah.
That could have easily gone 1-2 in this draft. Like I was looking over the draft, that easily gone 1-2.
I remember at the time. I remember the time people were saying that Stützle could have gone first, and he's kind of proving out that he could have gone first.
It's kind of looking like he should have.
Yeah. As much as I hate that guy,
that was the 2020 draft.
2020. Okay.
Yeah. Because that's it. Because then Stützle went 3, Lucas Raymond 4. Now Raymond, good player, very good young player.
Yeah.
Sanderson 5. Then you have Drysdale at 6, and then that's it. Then it's a bunch of like decent to like whatever. Because honestly, you're looking at Seth Jarvis at 13, that's a pretty good pick. We took that was when we took
No, that's when we took Tyson Forster 2020. Yeah. 2020 draft was a Forster draft. That was a good pick for us at 23.
Yeah, and we got him at 23. Honestly, you do a redraft, he's easily top 10. Maybe even top 5.
I agree with that.
No, maybe not top 5, but top 10 for sure.
Top 10. Top 10 is fair. I think that's accurate.
Just that he's one guy. I'm like, I think he might need a change of scenery, and like because the Rangers are just like, talking about teams that are doing it right. Now this is a team that's doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You abandon your rebuild way too soon just because you like a couple guys like became available, and all of a sudden, we should stop the rebuild now.
Yeah.
And you know who actually benefited the most from that? The Montreal Canadiens.
That they fired Gordon, yeah.
Because they fired Gordon. He went to Montreal, hired Hughes, he did it his way in Montreal, and now what's the owner's name there? Jeff Dolan?
Oh, wait a minute. You mean this super
What?
potential dynasty the Habs are building is all the New York Rangers' fault?
Yep.
I hate them even
Yep.
more now.
Oh man, I hope that that's
I
stupid. Like
hate them
again,
even more now.
great for me because I'm a Flyers fan. So you know what? The Rangers suffering is just like music to my ears.
Listen,
But
them
like,
getting Adam Fox and Artemi Panarin the way they got them was the worst thing that could have happened to this team for the long term.
100%.
Is it just complete? You
100%.
mentioned it. They completely abandoned their long-term goals. It
And
really
then
did.
Yeah, Panarin, the big free agent signing. They shouldn't have been signing free agent like that.
No, not at that stage.
Yeah.
they weren't ready yet. They
Yeah.
weren't ready yet.
And look, Montreal not signing free agents and said they're not
No.
interested in doing that right now, and because they're not there. But now they might be for next season.
Oh yeah.
But there's nobody. But we just
Rick-
established
Yeah, there's nobody.
The
nobody.
only issue is, Rick, no free agents hit damn free. Well, no
That's-
quality free
That's
agents.
what I just said. But there's nobody when they're ready. But it's fine because they don't. We're doing fine. I don't care that there's no free agent. They'll make a trade. That's all.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's what
we're going to
it's
go back to that. Maybe we're going to go back to hockey trades. Like when I grew up,
Mhm.
they made hockey trades. Maybe we'll
mean-
see a lot more of that, and I would like seeing that better.
Oh,
Yep.
guaranteed. Guaranteed.
You know?
I think that's the way. But you know what? I think that's the way. Like it is trending because, like we said, like free agency, there's almost nothing available, so you're gonna have to see more trades. But I
Yeah.
feel like sometimes like the NHL just makes these stupid rules that just makes it harder for trades to happen. Like the whole with the double retention, taking that away, and not like it's like
Honestly, I don't know that I mind that.
I don't.
Mostly, I think because I saw so many teams over the years doing that, and Montreal never were able to make trades like that, and so I think I resent them. But it doesn't bother me that much that that's taken away, especially when you have a skilled GM, good GM. Yeah, he's going to be fine.
I just find that like by eliminating that, 'cause I find it's nothing that was really like there was this whole like big stupid explanation that was put out there, like all like the insiders were saying, oh, it's because with the team evaluation and it was circumventing the cap because it was inflating team value numbers, but like no, like bullshit. Like I'm sorry, no, like a lot of these guys that were double retained were like gonna be UFAs. It was just like at the deadline, we only have $2 million. Could we just give you an extra 5th round pick? You retain half again, and then we make this guy.
But it did circumvent the cap, though. That was the idea.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like in that way, like because like you're getting the player less. But the excuse that they were giving about inflating like teams that like they said something. I mean, I can't remember now, but like
it's like they wanted to eliminate it. And they made up an excuse.
Yeah, made up like a stupid excuse.
Yeah.
But again, like what? And this is what drives me crazy about the NHL. What drives fans to sports, like especially like to a lot of sports? They love trades. They love rumors. They love movement. This is what fans love.
But I'm telling you,
I think that's
hockey trades are more exciting. Real hockey trades. I'm sorry, that's more exciting. I think.
No, I don't think. Yeah, but you're hurting.
Rick, I think his main point is just the trade itself, not the real hockey trade, but that trades of generalization. Like it can be anything. Like you mentioned a hockey trade or just the rumor of like even a pick for pick trade during the draft. Yeah, obviously it's not nearly as exciting as a normal hockey trade.
No.
But just the rumors like, oh, Team X is trying to find its way into the first round, could be moving more picks or talent. And then it makes you think, oh, what could we do with all those types of picks?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's exciting for one team and not really for the other. When you make a hockey trade, it's exciting for at least two teams. It's a little better to me.
But especially like at the deadline, because me, it's more for like the deadline and everything. It's because like how many hockey trades do you even see at the deadline? It's usually just for players. It's for picks and prospects, right?
But that's what it's become. But it doesn't have to strictly be. I think they want to see more hockey trades to offset some of that, so they did that. I don't necessarily agree. Like I didn't think that the double retention was a problem. It's not something that bothers me.
Like,
I don't know who it bothered that they needed to change it.
it bothered Gary Bettman and Bill Daly because they considered it cap circumvention. So, and they have like a stick up their ass about the stupid cap.
Yeah.
So, and they're like, oh no, you can't do that anymore. Like,
Yeah.
but who was it hurting? It
No, I
wasn't
don't think it
hurting
was.
anybody.
No, I don't think it was hurting anybody in particular. Yeah.
No, so it's like, like a team that has like, let's say, only $2 million like available at to get a $2 million player, and you want that, let's say, that $4 million player or that $5 million player. Now you can't get him because you can't like double. I don't know. I just find it stupid. I don't like it.
I would agree with that. I mean, I get why they did it and whatever I said, but no, I agree. I don't see who it hurts. Why would they need to go after that? I mean, there's a lot more out there they need to fix. Double retention, right?
And honestly, okay, you talk about it just popped back in my head, but you talk about cap circumvention. That was a big thing. This whole double retention because we can't do that. You're circumventing the cap. But yet you're still allowed to trade players at like when Carey Price was traded, like Ryan Ellis was traded. Guys with full they're not gonna play again, but we could trade these contracts away to teams that need to get to the 4 or whatever, and that's not cap circumvention. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think okay. So here's how and it might not make sense what I'm gonna say, but I think this is their thinking, is that hang on, I gotta get my thought. Shit went out of my head. I don't know if it was I don't think it was valid. That's why it left my head. But I thought of something and it didn't make sense, I guess. Well, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
In terms of cap circumvention, do you think that we have done enough just in general with the new CBA to prevent things like Eric just mentioned from happening, or do you think more needs to be done still?
Well, I honestly, I think enough is done right now. I think that the big thing was obviously the LTIR thing. That was a bigger issue
for sure. That needed to be addressed.
Yeah, so that's fine. But everything else that they put in, like I said, was it that big of a deal? The double retention thing, was it that big of a deal?
No.
And other than that, honestly, I think I think we're okay for now. There's not one thing that pops in my head that I think is this still needs to be fixed. But
one thing pops into my head that they're not going to fix, but that's different.
Which is
gambling.
Oh yeah, but that's not just cap.
But that has nothing to do with the CBA
No, I know. That's why I said I didn't really, but I had to throw that in there because of what happened this week. Not in our sport, but
okay. Yeah, that's what I said.
I mean, it's now been a thing in 2 pro sports that we know of within the last year. So hopefully this isn't an issue that ends up being I feel like hockey, just for a quick
don't be naive. Please
steal your quote, Eric.
Please don't be naive. Please don't be naive.
I'm just saying.
Don't.
Yeah. I'm just saying in general perspective, compared to basketball's the easiest sport. I feel like you could have something like that happen. You can call a foul on anything. You could call, these guys could half-ass almost anything. Hockey's moving at such a quick adrenaline.
Yeah.
But
like you said, NBA, it's easier. So it's going to take them longer to figure out what's happening in the NHL, but shit's happening. You know what I say? You know when there's a cockroach, and you see a cockroach, there's more than one, right? Well, it's kind of like this. They've already found 2 incidents in major sports in North America. There's more.
I'm not doubting that, unfortunately. I'm just saying hockey is a harder sport to do that with versus the 2 that got caught.
That doesn't mean it's not being done, though.
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's harder for it to happen.
So it'll be just harder for them to prove it. It's taking longer. That's all. Since we talked about it, I have, if you give me a second, because people are listening and they don't know what the hell we're talking about. Hang on, I got to put it up here. What happened in Major League Baseball, and it is right here, just so we can show people so they understand. Okay, so this happened in this is from The Athletic, so I would imagine it's true. Cleveland Guardians pitchers Emmanuel Clace and Louis Ortiz have been indicted on a host of charges tied to allegedly rigging pitches thrown during MLB games, according to according to a indictment unsealed Sunday. That's not proper English. According to an indictment, no, or is it a indictment? No,
According to it should be an indictment.
an indictment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what we're talking about. So now that's Major League Baseball, that's NBA, and it's gambling because gambling's attached to Major League Sports now. I mean, that's it. Anyway,
Now that it has actually been released to the world, I think you can have more of a discussion off of it because we didn't have a smoking gun proof. Now that we have this,
now we got two of them.
now we have two of them. It's a little more of a conversation that can be had. Me personally, I just think I'm not saying that it's impossible to happen because it could potentially happen in sports. But number one, it's harder to influence this when 9 guys are moving at that level of speed. So the example,
but there's different ways. You know
but just
how
hear me out for a second, Rick. Hear me out. The player in the NBA, Terry Rozier, who was caught, his was bet on his specific over-under point line.
Right.
So I don't remember what the exact number was.
I know what it was. When he knew he was not going to play a whole game, he'd let people know, and they put money down on how many points he's going to get.
Less points, and he faked an injury.
Right, and they knew to go to the under because he wasn't going to be playing. So
exactly. So in hockey, unless if you're doing that in under, what's the way you could do that in hockey?
You can't. No, but you know how I've said it. It's the refs and the penalty calling where they try to push a game.
But here's the argument. Here's the argument here. None of these other two had anything to do with officiating or umpiring.
I know.
So that's where the difference comes. They were individual players.
Right.
Emmanuel Clase from the Cleveland Guardians, and I don't remember the other pitcher's name. But theirs were more based
on
Louis Ortiz. Yeah, Luis Ortiz. They were more based off of pitch tipping.
Yeah.
Again, nothing to do with the umpire.
No, I get that. Nothing yet has come out. But the point also being when you put gambling so close to it, it makes it easier for these guys to think of stuff to do like that. And they're probably approached by people to say, hey, let's,
My hope is what happened to these two instances will wake these guys up that consider it. Because Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz, did you see how long the potential prison sentence they could be facing is?
65 years.
65 years.
Yeah.
That's the rest of their life, pretty much. Now, if you're a player X or Y, there's money going around you can potentially make. But do you want to be dumb enough to risk that and say, I could be facing what Clase and Ortiz just faced?
I'm going to ask you this question. You see everything going on in your country. You see how many dumb people are. You're going to ask me, are they dumb enough? Obviously they are.
That's a complete. Let's not get off topic, but stick with sports. But point being is the smoking gun of this, I'm hoping will wake these guys up. Terry Rozier was more off of the under of his games, and then you had what was the other guy's name? Chauncey Billups. His was with poker. It wasn't even to do with the NBA. So I'm thinking, at least with hockey in perspective in this case, I don't think it's a little bit. You might be right, maybe officiating, but you have to find smoking gun proof.
Okay, I get that. We haven't had that, but I mean, listen. If you're thinking, man, you look at what's going on with the ref,
and it's happening
everywhere.
I'm just saying it's harder to prove.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll agree with that. But I believe one day it's going to come out that they're going to find a ref that has been cheating.
Valid.
I think. Until that day, we don't know.
Until that day, Rick will blame the refs.
I am going to. If they start to ref, if it was just me complaining by now, I would think it's just me.
Old man yells at cloud.
Right. It'd be like 2-3 years of me complaining. Nobody else sees it. Okay, it's me. But, everybody's seeing it now. So
I got a cool topic to talk about. Alexander Ovechkin just hit his 900th goal the other night. And that's incredible. First player in NHL history to hit that.
Is he having a slow start, though, goal scoring? Because he ended with 5 goals away.
Wait,
Wasn't
oh,
it?
yeah.
Or
So,
4.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely not on pace like last year. That's for sure.
He's really off the pace, right?
Yeah.
well, for his, listen, the guy's 40. I don't think he's as motivated
And he's
as he was
right.
last
I was gonna say that. He's hit the goal. It's not a and it's his last season here. It's his last season.
15 games played. He has 3 goals,
Yeah.
7 assists, 10 points.
Yeah. I thought
So
he had
here's my
90
question
points.
with Ovi. How many more do you think he ends up with in his career? Do you think that now I'll ask this as a first question. Think there's any shot he stays in the league to push for 1,000? I think it's unlikely.
No, he said he's finished after this season.
Well, that was the rumor, but then he dispelled it.
Oh,
Now-
did he?
Yeah,
I
there was
didn't
some
hear that.
pushback on that.
Yeah,
Oh, I
he
didn't hear
gave
that.
some pushback.
Okay.
So we don't know for sure. He's not leaving Washington for any other team. He'll either be
No,
the
he's going
Capitals
back
or
to-
the AHL.
He said that
So-
he's not playing for another NHL team. He'll
Yeah.
go back to Russia to play in KHL. If anything.
So my question is this. A, do you believe Ovi with what he says? And B, if he does stay, does he have a chance to be the first player ever to hit 1,000 goals? Needs 100 more.
I say no. I say he's leaving after this season. Why?
Yeah.
Because he got the record. I don't know what the motivation is. 100 more goals. That could be 3 more years. Does he have that in him? I don't think so. Besides, who's going to get 900 goals for like a long time? Who?
I mean, the way these kids have been going.
Yeah, down the road, but I mean for a long time, right? He
Oh,
can
yeah.
hold that record for quite a while, I think. I would think that would be enough.
I don't know. I think with the pace that he went off this year, that he's been on this year, 1,000. Ugh. You know what? Like, if he would have started this year the way he started last year and the way he finished the season last year, I'm like, oh, you know what? He might be able to do it. He might be able to get it to 1,000 in 2 seasons, maybe 2.5.
Right.
But now that he's really slowed down this year, I don't know if 1,000 is in the books. And like, you know what? Like Rick said, yeah, maybe like it was the spell that no, I'm gonna stay. But maybe he does leave after this year and says, you know what, man, I did everything I had to do in the NHL. I just want to go back to Russia, play a couple more years in the KHL, and then officially retire from hockey.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I don't think 1,000 is in the cards. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
So the only reason why I asked this is because if we look back, 2 years ago, he had a pretty bad start then too. Now, mind you, 38 versus 40, it is a difference, so I get that. But he did have a bad start, and he turned it up again at 39. Now I get it; the motivation probably isn't nearly as there now.
Can't be.
He's just trying to stretch it as much as possible at this point. He's at 900. If you asked me today, the fact that he dispelled those rumors so quickly, because usually the guys that end up leaving that know they're going to leave is like, oh, I don't know, ask me at the end of the year. I'm just concentrating on this year right now. I mean, it could be different for him, but most of the time, the guys who do that are very to themselves and oh, I'm not sure yet. I'm just concentrating on this year, whole 9 yards. The fact that he dispelled it makes me think might come back. Now, should he? I think it all depends on what the Capitals look like this year. If they fall out of favor, he probably thinks, all right, it's time. But if he feels like they can keep pushing for a cup, maybe he says, all right, I'll give another year or 2. If that's the case, just because he's Ovi, I give him a 25% chance if that happens.
Wait, 25% chance of hitting 1,000 or staying with the Capitals?
If he stays with the Capitals, not that he's going to. I'm saying, say hypothetically, not because obviously he has to stay with the team. If we're putting in the question mark if he's even staying with the Capitals, obviously that number goes lower. But it's just in a hypothetical scenario, say it's 100% sure he's coming back at least for another year plus. I'd say it's about 20-25%, because I've seen this guy turn it up. And if he knows the team around him is good, he could push it. He really could. I think he would need to do this year and probably 2 more to have any shot at it.
Oh yeah.
If he finds his goal scoring touch this year, maybe you're right. But if he doesn't, I don't think he's coming.
I think he realistically would need to get to 925 this year to have any shot within the next 2 years if he were to do it.
Yeah.
And, you look at some of the guys who have played long in this league. Zdeno Chara. He played to 43. He played a while. I'm pretty sure Jerome McGinley, he's stretched it out. I think he went into his early 40s. Jaromir Jagr.
Okay, but not everyone's Jagr. Here's my thought on that is Ovi strikes me as a kind of, for lack of a better term, a happy-go-lucky kind of a guy. Always making jokes. He doesn't take a lot of things serious and whatever. I kind of think that's his approach. I like I just said, I think if he has a good season where he picks it up and he finishes with 35 goals, I think he might consider that staying longer. I think if he doesn't, I kind of think that's it. His career is over. Like, why push it at his age? Why push it when you might have lost your touch? At some point, it's going to go away.
Yeah.
Father
Time's undefeated, except when you face Tom Brady. That's the only guy.
Never mind fucking Brady.
Father Time could not beat Tom Brady. He played to 45 and he was still good even when he left.
Is he still playing? No. So Father Time reached him. Come on.
All right, let me put it this way. Father Time is undefeated, but Tom Brady gave him the toughest battle of his career.
I'm not a Tom Brady guy, so I'm not a Tom Brady.
Chris Chelios and Gordie Howe put up a pretty good fight.
Yeah. How long did Howe go to? 48?
52.
He was in his 50s. Yeah.
52.
It's crazy.
Different time also, but still, he did it.
True.
And
although
Chelios
52, I think he played one period for the Whalers and retired. I think at 52. So
next, I think Chelios. I think he was like in his mid 40s.
I want to say 44 or 45 for Chelios.
Yeah, I wanted to say 45. 45 was the number. I know then he played an extra year, but I think it was in the AHL, and then he finally retired.
But when he went to Detroit, like everyone figured, okay, for a couple of seasons, he played like 6-7 years there. So he was already old when he went to Detroit. So yeah,
I'll have a run for the old timer.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
A lot of these guys, by the way, you're talking Chara, Chelios, incredible conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I don't know that Ovi's.
No argument there.
Right. So I don't know that Ovi's like that. I doubt it. Right. So I think that's a factor.
It's funny you bring that up with Ovi. He's probably stood in the same spot on the power play for 20 plus years. And maybe it saves some mileage on him long term.
Yeah, except when he first started, he hit everything in sight. He was a physical player.
He was a machine.
We all said there's no way this kid lasts because of the way he plays. He's not going to last. But he toned it down and he was able to last. But yeah.
It just comes to show like these guys all have different career trajectories at the end of the day.
Yeah. Listen, he hit 900 goals. How much more of a goal that you have for yourself? How much more can there be?
Well, like 1,000 is a nice round number.
That's why.
But if you're really like, I think this season him falling off, that would say like it would dampen my enthusiasm.
I don't know. I think I would try and last. Yeah. I think I would try and last to get that 1,000 goal, and as soon as I hit 1,000, I just walk off the ice and I retire.
Mic drop. Drop the stick like a mic.
Exactly. You hit that 1,000 goal, drop the stick and leave. Done.
That's good.
It's still like it's like one of those round number milestones in just pro sports. Like obviously, hitting 1,000 goals would be an incredible feat. Like I'll give a few other examples in other sports. Jerry Rice hitting 200 career receiving touchdowns. That's a nice round number that ended up being smashed. The home record, the 500 home run spots, kind of. No one's ever going to hit 1,000, but like just getting that 500 home run milestone. It would be cool to see someone do that. Do you think? It's just, I think it's more selfish me bringing this up than I'd like to one day see this.
If he was 38 and he hit 900, I would say, yeah, he's probably going to get to 1,000, but I don't know at 40.
I think this would be a better question to ask later in the year when we see where he's at.
Yeah, he's going to have to pick it up. He's
later down the line.
Yeah.
Because the thing is also, like, if he struggles this year, like, if he really does, like, maybe not up to par, like, I don't know if maybe he wants to come back for at least one more year to say, you know what? No, I'm not going out. Like, let's say only finishes like 15 goals on the season. He's like, no. I'm not going out this way. I have to come back for at least one more year.
Oh, a guy that hit 900 goals doesn't have to. In my opinion, he hit 900. What's the like? I wouldn't.
I guess, yeah. Or maybe tell himself, you know what? Nah, maybe it's just not for me no more.
And that's where I point to the perspective of, does he think that his team is a cup contender still? Does he want to try to win another one? He only won one. So maybe that drive and hunger is there.
Maybe. I know. I find it hard at 40 to think that it might still be. Maybe if he was still chasing the record and he was so close. I can see that, but I don't know. I just think that, yeah, he's hit that. To me, at that age and all that, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know. I want to go through the grind of a season again. Right? Yeah, that's got to be something, right? The grind of it.
That is also true. The major training perspective of things.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Do you have any other final topics to add?
No, I think we covered a lot of stuff.
I'm good.
All right, gentlemen. So with that being said, that is going to wrap things up for our 90th installment of the Pucking Around podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. If you have anything you'd like for us to talk about in future episodes, leave us a comment. Like our videos. Tell us what you think. And please throw us a sub. We're always looking for new listeners and followers just in general. We appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, we love you. We look forward to seeing you next week. But that being said, that's going to wrap things up for this episode of the Pucking Around podcast. Everyone take care and have a fantastic night.
Have a great week, everybody.
Promise that you'll catch me.